Now I want to talk about Justin Fields. Justin Fields looks absolutely terrible in real life. I think in real life he's much closer to being QB 32 than he is to being QB 15. I think he's like a bottom half of the league quarterback without a question. With this being said, I still do think that he's a top 10 fantasy quarterback and he could be a good buy low candidate right now, just coming off these two average weeks. What do you guys think about the Justin Fields situation? Are y'all in on him from a fantasy perspective? And then also, not only from just a fantasy perspective, what do y'all think about real life? Y'all think he has a future in Chicago? How do you think that this is all going to pan out?
Unless something changes, I don't see him being there next year. I think he's absolutely spoiling every chance that they've given him. I think his head coach probably is screwing him as well. Um, you know, I rewatched the game and he can't read a defense to save his life. He has no idea where he's going with the ball pre-snap, and he is not talented enough as a pocket passer to make the throws he needs. He can run. He's a super freak athlete. He's huge. He's got all these physical traits, but he can't put it all together. I don't see him staying long term with the Bears. I think at the end of this year they have to move on. I think it's time that people stop trying to defend him because he really hasn't shown any improvement to me that says he deserves a chance after this year as of week 2. Call it an overreaction. It is what it is. He looks no different to me than he did last year. I think he's played like total dog shit and absolutely did nothing to help his team through the first 2 weeks. And from a fantasy perspective, I think that I still think he's a decent fantasy quarterback just because of how many points you get with his rushing upside. But from as a person, like a fan of football, and like if I was a Bears fan, I'd be pretty pissed off if he was my quarterback.
Yeah,
So
so let's go. Let's just do a quick rapid fire session. I'm gonna say a quarterback, and you're gonna say if you'd rather Justin Fields or them in fantasy football. So
In fantasy or real life,
in
because I would
fantasy football. So
I
Trevor
take him over a
Lawrence,
good bit of
Trevor
people.
Lawrence,
Trevor Lawrence,
Deshaun Watson,
Justin Fields,
Yeah, it's close, bro. Both of those people are so close.
all right, Justin Herbert,
Herbert,
Justin Herbert,
Tua,
yeah,
Tua.
Tua.
Kenny Pickett.
No,
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Come on out. Real life dude there, neck and neck.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
All right, so it sounds like y'all think that
Look, I want
Justin
to say
Fields is a
something.
fringe top 10.
Yeah, I think he's a top 10 guy. I think, look, unless you're personally a big Justin Fields believer, maybe you had him last year on your team and you just can't let it go. Those couple 50-point weeks he gave you. Look, if you want to buy low, this is the time to do it. Don't wait. Don't wait another week because he's going to pop off sooner or later. I mean, he's going to have big games. He's not going to put up sub 20-point performances all year long. If I have Fields, maybe streaming a quarterback is an option, but don't be upset when he puts up 40 points on your bench. It's going to happen a few times this year. So personally, if I own him, I'm going to hang on to him. But I'm not trying to buy him. I'm not trying to buy him.
As far as rushing quarterbacks go, I'm just trying to get a feel for the market here. Would you rather have Justin Fields or Anthony Richardson? Because I'm not gonna lie, it looks like Anthony Richardson is just a better passer of the football than Justin Fields, and I do see the rushing upside of Anthony Richardson as well. Which one of those two guys would y'all lean this year?
I think at this point it's simple to me. I mean, I've seen I understand a lot of times it takes at least 3 years for you to like develop him. It's week 2. I'm overreacting over here, don't get me wrong. Um, but from this year to last year, I've seen no improvement in Fields. And it's not like he's never put up a performance where I said, "Hey, he's a well-rounded quarterback." He's not. If he has a good game, it's because he used his feet and he made some plays that way. He's a freak athlete. I don't think he's a quarterback in the NFL. Anthony Richardson has shown that he can make some pretty good passes. He might be a better NFL quarterback than what we saw in college. I mean, I know that's an overreaction as
I don't
well,
think so. Actually, I
but
think he looks better right now than he did at Florida.
but I think that if you're looking like, especially going forward, I'm going to take Anthony Richardson just because for me personally, I'm borderline completely out on
So
Justin
I
Fields.
think
Yeah,
you have
I
some
like Anthony
shares of
Richardson.
Justin Fields in a couple of the leagues that we play in. Would you be looking to trade him 1-for-1 for Anthony Richardson? Is that something you consider?
I mean,
'Cause, I mean, you said you would, so I'm just
I mean,
asking.
yeah, I mean, if my team was really in a bind, like I'm gonna give it a couple. Maybe I'm just hating. I'm gonna give it a couple more weeks. But I mean,
Yeah.
I could look back and be like, man, that was a mistake. I don't know. We'll see.
Respect.